Across history and cultures, human beings have asked the same question. How do we train ourselves to remain calm, clear, and strong in the face of life's challenges? Long before modern self-help, productivity systems, or performance science, ancient civilizations developed powerful methods to shape the human mind and body. Monks trained for inner stillness. Warriors trained for clarity under pressure. Philosophers trained for reason and virtue. Elders trained youth through hardship, responsibility, and discipline. Though their environments differed, from Himalayan monasteries to Japanese dojos, from desert ashrams to elite military camps, their goal was remarkably similar: to cultivate mastery over oneself. This audiobook explores 10 of the world's most disciplined training systems, spanning spirituality, philosophy, warfare, and education. You will learn how Tibetan monks regulate breath and awareness, how Shaolin monks unite strength with compassion, how samurai trained composure in the face of death, how indigenous cultures forged identity through trials, and how modern special forces train the mind to function under extreme stress. These traditions are not presented as history alone. Each chapter translates timeless principles into practical, step-by-step practices you can apply in your own life, safely, respectfully, and realistically. This is not about becoming a monk or a soldier. It is about becoming disciplined without rigidity, resilient without hardness, and focused without fear. As you listen, approach these teachings with curiosity rather than judgment. Take what serves you, leave what does not. Let this be a journey of reflection, experimentation, and growth. Welcome to From Monks to Special Forces, a journey into mind, body, and resilience. Chapter 1. The Path of the Monk, Training the Body, Mind, and Heart. Tibetan and Shaolin Wisdom for Modern Life. For centuries, Tibetan monks and Shaolin monks of China have followed disciplined paths designed to shape the whole human being, not only strong bodies, but calm minds, ethical behavior, and compassionate hearts. Their training systems were never meant to create fighters alone, nor scholars alone, but balanced individuals capable of clarity under pressure, self-control in difficulty, and kindness in the world. Both Tibetan and Shaolin traditions begin with one essential principle: discipline comes before power. Before complex meditation, before martial techniques, even before long hours of study, students learn to regulate their daily life. They wake early, follow fixed routines, eat simply, and train consistently. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom from chaos. Your first practice begins here. Step 1. Establish a fixed daily window. Choose one consistent time daily, preferably early morning or evening, for your practice. Start with 30 minutes, increasing gradually to 60 minutes. Meditation, practiced by Shaolin monks and mirrored in Tibetan mindfulness traditions, trains direct awareness. The goal is not to empty the mind, but to observe without reacting. This trains emotional stability, focus, and inner silence. Step-by-step Chan practice. Sit upright on a chair or cushion. Keep your spine straight. Shoulders relaxed. Place hands gently on your thighs. Lower your gaze or close your eyes. Now bring attention to your breath, not controlling it, simply noticing. When thoughts arise, do not fight them. Label them softly as thinking and return to the breath. Begin with 10 minutes daily, gradually increasing to 20. This practice builds mental clarity, emotional regulation, awareness under stress. Shaolin martial training is famous, but its foundation is functional strength, balance, and endurance, not violence. You are not training to fight, you are training to control your body and energy. Step-by-step body practice, 15 to 20 minutes. 1. Horse stance, Mabu. Stand with feet wider than shoulders, lower hips as if sitting. Keep spine upright. Hold for 30 seconds. Rest. Repeat 3 times. This strengthens legs, core, and mental endurance. 2. Slow squats. 10 controlled repetitions. Focus on breath and balance. 3. Push ups, modified if needed. 2 sets of 8, 12 maintain calm breathing. 4. Gentle stretching. Spine, hips, shoulders move slowly, never force. Central to both Tibetan and Shaolin systems. Breath regulates energy, emotions, and attention. Step-by-step breathing, 10 minutes. Sit or stand upright, inhale slowly through the nose for 4 counts, feel the breath, expand the lower abdomen, exhale gently through the nose for 6 counts, relax the shoulders and jaw. Imagine the breath calming the nervous system with each exhale. Practice 10 to 15 rounds. Shaolin monks train martial movements as moving meditation. Every movement is precise, aware, and intentional. Simple flow practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Stand tall, feet shoulder width, slowly raise arms while inhaling, lower arms while exhaling, shift weight from one leg to the other, move slowly, smoothly, silently. Imagine every movement beginning in the mind before the body. Moral discipline. Strength without compassion is considered dangerous. Monks follow simple moral principles. Do not harm, speak truthfully, act with restraint, serve others. Daily moral practice. Each evening, reflect briefly. Where did I act with patience today? Where did I react unconsciously? How can I improve tomorrow? This reflection transforms training into character development. A complete daily practice. Here is a balanced daily routine inspired by Tibetan and Shaolin traditions. 10 minutes. Chan meditation 15 minutes. Body conditioning 10 minutes. Breath control 10 minutes. Moving meditation 5 minutes. Reflection and compassion intention. Even 30 minutes daily practiced sincerely will bring results. Food, timing, and awareness in Tibetan and Shaolin training. In both Tibetan and Shaolin traditions, food is not treated as pleasure or indulgence. It is regarded as fuel for practice, nothing more, nothing less. Monks are taught that the way you eat is as important as what you eat, because digestion directly affects energy, clarity, and emotional stability. Their approach can be summarized in 3 principles: simplicity, timing, and mindfulness. What monks eat. Shaolin monks, China. Shaolin monks traditionally follow a vegetarian diet, rooted in Buddhist non-harm and bodily clarity. Common foods include steamed rice or millet, seasonal vegetables, greens, root vegetables, tofu or soy-based foods, beans and lentils, simple soup, small amounts of nuts or seeds. Foods are lightly seasoned, avoiding excess oil, sugar, or spice. Tibetan monks. Due to harsh climate and geography, Tibetan monks historically consumed barley, tsampa, simple vegetable stews, yogurt or butter tea, traditionally, lentils and dried vegetables. In modern monasteries, many Tibetan monks now eat mostly plant-based meals, emphasizing warmth and nourishment. Timing matters. Monastic training follows fixed meal times to stabilize energy and reduce mental distraction. Traditional timing pattern. Morning meal, light and nourishing. Midday meal, largest and most substantial. Evening, very light or no solid food. This aligns with natural digestion cycles and keeps the mind clear during meditation. You can safely follow this pattern without extreme restriction. Morning, 6 to 9 a.m. light fuel. Purpose, wake the body gently. Options: warm water or herbal tea, fruit or soaked nuts, oats or porridge, simple toast or rice. Midday, 12 to 2 p.m. main meal. Purpose, strength and recovery. Build your plate as 1/2 vegetables, 1/4 whole grains, rice, barley, quinoa, 1/4 protein, lentils, beans, tofu, eggs if preferred. Eat calmly. Stop when 80% full, a common monk principle. Evening, before 7 p.m. light and simple. Purpose, rest and clarity. Options: vegetable soup, steamed vegetables, small portion of rice or lentils. Avoid heavy meals late at night. How monks eat. Meals are often taken in silence or with minimal speech. This trains awareness and gratitude. Step-by-step mindful eating practice. Sit down without distractions, take 1 deep breath before eating, chew slowly, notice taste, texture, and fullness. Stop eating before feeling heavy. This practice improves digestion and prevents overeating naturally. To protect clarity and discipline, monks limit or avoid excess sugar, alcohol, heavy fried foods, overeating, constant snacking. The goal is not restriction, but mental steadiness. Some monasteries observe light eating days rather than full fasting. You can practice this safely by eating lighter meals 1 day per week, focusing on soups, fruits, and vegetables, drinking warm water or tea. This resets digestion and sharpens awareness. Chapter 2. The Way of Zen, Training Awareness Through Simplicity. Japanese Zen Monastic Practice for Modern Life. Japanese Zen monasteries are designed not to impress, but to strip life down to what matters. Their training does not aim to escape the world, but to meet each moment fully, without resistance, distraction, or excess. Every action, from sitting to sweeping the floor, becomes a form of training. Zen practice builds awareness, simplicity, and endurance through repetition, silence, and sincerity. The core principle: ordinary actions, extraordinary awareness. Zen training rests on one essential idea: awakening is found in ordinary life. Monks are not taught to chase special experiences. Instead, they learn to show up fully, to sit when sitting, walk when walking, eat when eating. Over time, this cultivates a mind that is stable, present, and resilient. Your training begins with showing up consistently. Seated meditation, zazen. Zazen, seated meditation, is the heart of Zen monastic training. Monks may sit for many hours daily, but the essence of the practice is upright stillness and open awareness. Step-by-step zazen practice. Sit on a cushion or chair, keep spine upright, chin slightly tucked, hands rest in the lap, palms up, thumbs lightly touching, eyes half open, gaze lowered, breathe naturally through the nose. Do not try to control the breath. Simply allow it. When thoughts arise, do not follow or push them away. Notice them and return to just sitting. Begin with 10 to 15 minutes, gradually increasing to 30 minutes. Zazen trains deep attention, emotional steadiness, endurance without tension. Zen teaches, sit as if nothing is lacking. Strict daily schedule, discipline as freedom. Zen monasteries follow strict daily schedules not to suppress individuality, but to remove decision fatigue. When you know what to do next, the mind rests. A monk-inspired daily schedule, modern version. Morning, 10 to 20 minutes zazen. Midday, 10 to 15 minutes manual work. Evening, 10 to 20 minutes zazen. Night, 5 minutes reflection or koan contemplation. Consistency matters more than duration. Manual labor, work as meditation. Zen monks treat physical work as moving meditation. Cleaning, gardening, and cooking are done slowly, attentively, and without complaint. Step-by-step work practice. Choose one daily task: sweeping, washing dishes, organizing. Stand quietly before beginning. Take one conscious breath. Perform the task without rushing. Stay aware of movement and posture. Complete the task fully before stopping. This practice trains presence during activity, humility, physical endurance. In Zen, there is no separation between practice and life. Silent practice and koan study. Silence plays a central role in Zen training. Periods of silence help dissolve unnecessary speech and sharpen perception. Daily silence practice. Choose 10 to 30 minutes daily. Avoid speaking, media, and writing. Simply sit, walk, or observe. Koan reflection, optional. Koans are paradoxical questions designed to break habitual thinking. Example koan. What is your original face before your parents were born? Do not try to solve it intellectually. Hold the question lightly during quiet moments. Food in Zen monasteries, eating as practice. Zen monks follow Shojing Ryorai, a traditional Buddhist vegetarian cuisine based on simplicity, seasonality, and balance. Food is eaten mindfully and gratefully, often in silence. What Zen monks traditionally eat. Common foods include rice or barley, miso soup, seasonal vegetables, tofu, and soy products, pickled vegetables, small amounts of sesame or seaweed. Meals are simple, nourishing, and modest in portion. When Zen monks eat, timing. Traditional Zen monasteries observe 3 meals daily, sometimes 2. Typical pattern: morning, light meal midday, main meal evening, light or optional. Eating is completed early in the evening to support clarity during meditation. Monk-inspired food plan, modern adaptation. Morning, 6 to 9 a.m. gentle start. Purpose: wake digestion. Options: rice porridge or oats warm miso soup herbal tea. Avoid heavy or sweet foods early. Midday, 12 to 2 p.m. main meal. Purpose: sustained energy. Plate structure: steamed rice or grains, cooked vegetables, tofu or legume soup. Eat slowly. Stop before fullness. Evening, before 7 p.m. light and clean. Purpose: rest the mind. Options: vegetable soup, steamed green, small portion of rice. Some Zen monks skip dinner entirely during intensive retreats. How Zen monks eat. Mindfulness ritual. Before eating, monks silently reflect. This food is medicine for the body and mind. Step-by-step mindful eating. Sit upright, take 1 breath before the first bite, chew slowly, eat in silence, finish without overfilling. Endurance through simplicity. Zen endurance is not built through force, but through uncomplicated repetition. Sitting daily, working attentively, eating simply. Over time, these practices reduce mental noise, build patience, strengthen awareness. Zen training removes what is unnecessary until only clarity remains. Closing reflection. Japanese Zen monastic training teaches that you do not need to go anywhere else or become anything new. You only need to stop turning away from the present moment. When you sit, just sit. When you work, just work. When you eat, just eat. This is the quiet power of Zen. Chapter 3. The Gurukul Way, Forming the Whole Human Being. Ancient Indian wisdom for a grounded, disciplined life. In ancient India, education was not a transaction. It was a transformation. Students did not attend a school and return home. They entered a way of life known as the Gurukul. Living with the teacher, the guru, for many years, students learned not only knowledge, but how to live, think, act, and serve. The Gurukul system aimed to shape wise, capable, morally grounded individuals. Learning was inseparable from daily conduct, physical discipline, and inner restraint. Knowledge without character was considered incomplete. The core principle: education as life formation. The Gurukul system rested on one central belief. A human being must be trained as a whole: mind, body, character, and conscience. Students learned by observation, imitation, repetition, and service. The guru was not merely an instructor, but a living example. Discipline was gentle but firm, and learning was slow, deep, and integrated. Your training begins with adopting this mindset. Learning is not separate from living. Living with the teacher, creating inner guidance. While you may not live with a guru, you can recreate the essence of this relationship. Step-by-step modern Gurukul practice. Choose one guiding source, a trusted teacher, text, or philosophical tradition. Commit to studying it consistently. Apply its principles in daily life. Reflect regularly on your conduct. This builds inner guidance, the ability to self-correct and grow without constant external instruction. Training the mind, philosophy, logic, and ethics. Gurukul education emphasized clear thinking and ethical reasoning. Students studied philosophy not as theory, but as a guide to action. Daily mental training practice, 15 to 20 minutes. 1. Study. Read a short philosophical passage. Topics may include duty, self-control, truth, or purpose. 2. Reflection. Ask, what does this mean in daily life? How can I apply it today? 3. Memorization, optional. Ancient students memorized verses to internalize wisdom. This practice develops clarity of thought, moral reasoning, intellectual discipline. Mathematics and logic, training precision and patience. Mathematics in the Gurukul system trained order, accuracy, and focus. Simple daily practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Solve basic calculations, mentally practice logical puzzles, work slowly and carefully. The goal is not speed, but attention and correctness. Training the body, physical discipline, yoga, and movement. Physical training was essential. A weak body was believed to weaken the mind. Step-by-step physical practice, 15 to 20 minutes. 1. Yogic postures. Mountain pose, forward fold, seated, twist, gentle back bend. Hold each pose with calm breathing. 2. Strength and endurance. Squats, push ups, walking or light running. 3. Stretching. Spine, hips, shoulders. This builds strength, flexibility, and resilience. Breath work, regulating energy and emotion. Breath work was used to steady the mind and regulate energy. Beginner breath practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Sit upright, inhale slowly through the nose, exhale gently. Longer than the inhale, maintain a smooth rhythm. Never strain. Calm breathing leads to calm thinking. Character building, self-restraint and discipline. Character was the center of Gurukul training. Students practiced truthfulness, moderation, respect, service. Daily character practice. Each day, choose one focus. Speak truthfully, control impulses, act generously, practice patience. Reflect nightly. Where did I succeed? Where can I improve? This creates steady moral growth. Service, learning through contribution. Students served the Guru and community by cleaning, collecting water, caring for animals, assisting others. Service taught humility and responsibility. Modern service practice. Once daily. Help without seeking recognition, perform a task fully and quietly. Service transforms knowledge into wisdom. Food in the Gurukul system. Nourishment with restraint. Food in Gurukuls was simple, seasonal, and vegetarian, supporting clarity and discipline. What students traditionally ate. Common foods included whole grains, rice, wheat, barley, lentils and legumes, vegetables, milk, yogurt, or ghee in moderation, fruits and nuts. Food was cooked simply and eaten mindfully. When they ate, timing and moderation. Meals followed natural rhythms. Traditional pattern. Morning, light, midday, main meal, evening, light. Overeating was discouraged. Modern Gurukul-inspired food plan. Morning, warm water, fruit or porridge, light and nourishing. Midday, main meal. Whole grains, lentils or vegetables, yogurt or ghee, optional. Eat calmly. Stop before fullness. Evening, vegetable soup, steamed vegetables, light grains. Avoid heavy late meals. How they ate, awareness and gratitude. Before eating, students reflected. May this food strengthen my body for learning and service. Eat without distraction, chew slowly, and stop before heaviness. A complete daily Gurukul routine, 60 minutes. 15 minutes, study and reflection, 15 minute, physical practice 10 minute, breath work 10 minute, mental training 10 minute, service or reflection. Even half this routine practiced consistently builds lasting change. Closing reflection. The Gurukul system reminds us that education is not information, but formation. When the mind is clear, the body disciplined, and the character steady, knowledge becomes wisdom. Live simply, train daily, and let learning shape who you become. Chapter 4. The Way of the Heart, Sufi Training in Discipline and Remembrance. Inner purification from the Islamic mystical tradition. Across the Islamic world, Sufi orders developed a refined system of training aimed not at outward achievement, but at polishing the heart. For Sufis, the heart is not merely emotional, it is the center of awareness, intention, and moral perception. When the heart is clear, actions become upright. When it is clouded, even good actions lose their light. Sufi training seeks self-purification, discipline, humility, and constant remembrance of the divine. This path is gentle in form but profound in depth, shaping character from the inside outward. The core principle, purifying the heart. Sufis believe that every human being carries both light and veils within. The purpose of training is to remove the veils, ego, impatience, pride, and heedlessness, so the heart can reflect clarity, compassion, and sincerity. This is not achieved through force, but through consistent remembrance and ethical refinement. Your training begins with intention. Daily remembrance, dhikr anchoring the heart. Dhikr, remembrance, is the foundation of Sufi practice. It involves repeating sacred phrases to bring awareness back to the heart. Step-by-step dhikr practice, 10 to 15 minutes. Sit comfortably with spine upright, close your eyes, or soften your gaze. Breathe naturally. Repeat a simple phrase silently or softly. Common phrases include Allah, la ilaha illa Allah, there is no reality but the one. Repeat gently, in rhythm with the breath. If the mind wanders, return to the repetition without judgment. Dhikr cultivates inner calm, emotional stability, heart-centered awareness. Breath and awareness, calming the inner world. Breath is closely linked to the heart in Sufi practice. Conscious breathing helps dissolve agitation and sharpen presence. Step-by-step breath practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Inhale slowly through the nose, exhale gently. Slightly longer than the inhale, feel the breath pass through the chest and heart. Maintain a smooth, relaxed rhythm. Never force the breath. Ease builds depth. Movement and rhythm, the role of sacred motion. Some Sufi orders incorporate rhythmic movement or whirling as a form of meditation. The purpose is not performance, but surrender and balance. Safe beginner movement practice, optional. Stand upright with feet grounded. Place one hand over the heart. Slowly turn in place for a few rotations. Keep eyes soft and breathing calm. Stop immediately if dizzy. This practice trains balance, trust, presence. For most listeners, gentle swaying or walking meditation is sufficient. Moral refinement, training the character. Sufi training places strong emphasis on ethics and humility. Spiritual practice without moral behavior is considered incomplete. Daily moral training. Focus on one quality each day. Patience, honesty, generosity, forgiveness. Observe your reactions throughout the day. When you notice impatience or pride, pause and return to remembrance. Each evening, reflect. Where did I act with sincerity? Where did ego take over? This self-observation polishes the heart. Mentorship, learning through guidance. Traditional Sufi training occurs under the guidance of a sheikh, a mentor who corrects and encourages the student. Modern adaptation. While not everyone has access to a sheikh, you can study teachings from respected Sufi texts, seek guidance from ethical teachers, practice self-honesty and accountability. The key is humility and consistency. Silence and listening. Sufis value listening deeply, both to others and to one's own heart. Daily silence practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Sit quietly without repetition or movement. Simply listen to breath, sounds, and inner sensations. Silence strengthens discernment and sincerity. Food in Sufi tradition, moderation and awareness. Food is seen as nourishment, not indulgence. Overeating is believed to dull the heart. What Sufis traditionally ate. Diet varied by region but commonly included whole grains, bread, rice, lentils and legumes, vegetables, fruits, and dates, milk or yogurt in moderation. Meat, if eaten, was limited and simple. When they ate, timing and restraint. Sufis practiced moderation and sometimes light fasting. Typical pattern. Morning, light, midday, main meal, evening, light or minimal. Late night eating was discouraged. Monk-inspired Sufi food plan, modern adaptation. Morning, warm water or tea, fruit or light bread. Midday, grains, vegetables, lentils or beans. Eat calmly and stop before fullness. Evening, soup or fruit, light and early. Occasional fasting or lighter days sharpen awareness. How they ate, gratitude and restraint. Before eating, Sufis reflect. May this food strengthen me in remembrance and service. Eat slowly, without distraction. A complete daily Sufi practice, 45 to 60 minutes. 15 minutes, dhikr 10-minute, breath awareness 10-minute, silence or reflection 10-minute, moral self-observation throughout the day, mindful conduct. Even small, sincere practice transforms the heart. Closing reflection. Sufi training teaches that the greatest journey is from the ego to the heart. Through remembrance, discipline, and humility, the heart becomes a place of peace and clarity. This path does not demand withdrawal from the world, but presence within it. Remember often, act gently, and let the heart lead. Chapter 5, Formed for Service, the Jesuit Way of Mind, Leadership, and Action. Catholic formation for a disciplined and purpose-driven life. Among Western traditions, few training systems are as structured, demanding, and comprehensive as Jesuit formation. Founded in the 16th century by Saint Ignatius of Loyola, the Jesuits, formerly known as the Society of Jesus, developed a long-term path designed to form intellectually sharp, morally grounded, and service-oriented leaders. Jesuit training often spans 10 to 15 years, integrating rigorous academics, deep spiritual discipline, and practical service in the real world. The goal is not withdrawal from society, but engagement with it, wisely, courageously, and compassionately. This chapter adapts the core principles of Jesuit formation into a practical framework for modern listeners. The core principle, finding God in all things. At the heart of Jesuit training lies one guiding idea. Awareness, reflection, and action must work together. Jesuits are trained to think clearly, examine their inner life honestly, and act decisively in service of others. Knowledge without ethics is incomplete. Spirituality without action is considered hollow. Your training begins by cultivating attention to your thoughts, intentions, and actions. Training the mind, rigorous study, and intellectual discipline. Jesuit formation places extraordinary emphasis on the life of the mind. Members study philosophy, theology, history, science, languages, and ethics, not to accumulate information, but to develop discernment and critical thinking. Step-by-step intellectual practice, 20 to 25 minutes daily. Choose one serious subject to study: philosophy, ethics, leadership, history, or theology. Read attentively for 10 to 15 minutes. Take brief notes. Ask, what is being argued? Why does it matter? How does it apply to real life? This trains mental clarity, logical reasoning, thoughtful judgment. Jesuit education teaches that clear thinking is a moral responsibility. The spiritual exercises of Ignatius, training inner awareness. The spiritual exercises are the cornerstone of Jesuit formation. They are a structured set of reflections designed to cultivate self-awareness, humility, and discernment. Daily examen practice, 10 minutes. The examen is a simple yet powerful daily reflection. Pause and become still. Review the day calmly. Notice moments of clarity and gratitude. Notice moments of tension or regret. Resolve one small improvement for tomorrow. This practice sharpens conscience and builds self-honesty. Discernment, learning to make wise decisions. Jesuits are trained to make decisions not impulsively, but through discernment, carefully weighing motivations, consequences, and inner responses. Simple discernment practice. When facing a decision, pause before acting. Ask, does this lead towards service or ego? Does it bring peace or agitation? This habit builds ethical leadership. Service and mission, learning through action. Jesuit formation includes years of teaching, missionary work, and service among diverse communities. Service is not an add-on, it is the testing ground of formation. Daily service practice. Each day, perform one act of service. Deliberately teach, mentor, assist, or support someone. Do it quietly, without seeking recognition. Service grounds intellect in compassion. Leadership training, responsibility with humility. Jesuits are trained to lead without domination. Leadership is viewed as responsibility, not privilege. Leadership development practice. Take responsibility for a task. Organize it thoughtfully. Consider the needs of others. Act decisively and ethically. Leadership emerges from competence and care. Discipline and structure. Order creates freedom. Jesuit life follows clear schedules that balance prayer, study, work, and rest. A Jesuit-inspired daily structure, modern adaptation. Morning, reflection or examine midday, study or work evening, review of actions and intentions. Regular structure reduces distraction and strengthens focus. Food in Jesuit life, moderation and practicality. Jesuit communities historically practiced moderation rather than austerity. Food was simple, nourishing, and functional, supporting long days of study and service. What Jesuits traditionally ate. Diet varied by region but commonly included bread or grains, vegetables and legume soups and stews, fish or meat in moderation, fruit. Food was considered fuel for service, not indulgence. When they ate, balanced timing. Jesuit meals followed practical schedules. Typical pattern: morning, light; midday, main meal; evening, moderate. Meals were shared communally, reinforcing fraternity. Jesuit-inspired food plan, modern adaptation. Morning: fruit, toast, or porridge, tea or coffee in moderation. Midday, main meal. Balanced plate: vegetables, protein, beans, fish, eggs, or meat, whole grains. Eat attentively, not hurriedly. Evening: soup or light meal. Avoid heavy late eating. Moderation supports clarity and endurance. How they ate: gratitude and community. Before meals, Jesuits offer a brief prayer of gratitude. Eating together reinforces humility and shared purpose. Mindful eating practice. Pause before eating, acknowledge gratitude, eat calmly, stop before heaviness. This practice aligns body and mind. A complete Jesuit-inspired daily practice, 60 minutes. 20 minutes, study and reading. 10 minute, examine reflection. 15 minute, service or leadership task. 10 minute, quiet reflection throughout the day, discernment in action. Even partial consistency yields lasting results. Closing reflection. Jesuit formation teaches that the well-formed mind must serve the greater good. True leadership is grounded in humility, reflection, and action guided by conscience. Think clearly, serve generously, lead responsibly. This is the enduring wisdom of the Jesuit path. Chapter 6. The Way of the Warrior. Samurai Training in Honor and Composure. Bushido discipline for clarity under pressure. The samurai of Japan were not trained merely as fighters. They were shaped as warrior scholars, individuals expected to act with honor, restraint, and clarity even in the face of fear and death. Their training system, known as *** Bushido, the Way of the Warrior, ***, was a complete path of body, mind, and moral discipline. Samurai training produced individuals capable of calm action under extreme pressure, guided by an unwavering ethical code. Strength without honor was considered dangerous, courage without discipline, reckless. This chapter translates the essence of samurai training into a practical, modern framework you can safely follow today. The core principle: honor above all. At the heart of Bushido lies honor, not reputation, but inner integrity. A samurai's worth was measured by how consistently he acted according to his principles, especially when no one was watching. Bushido emphasized rectitude, right action, courage, benevolence, respect, honesty, loyalty, self-control. Your training begins by committing to ethical consistency. Martial training, discipline before combat. Samurai martial arts focused on precision, posture, timing, and calm presence. Kenjutsu-inspired practice, sword discipline without a sword. You do not need a weapon to train samurai focus. Step-by-step practice, 10 to 15 minutes. Stand upright, feet shoulder-width. Imagine holding a sword with both hands. Practice slow, deliberate cuts through the air. Exhale gently with each movement. Maintain relaxed alertness. This trains posture, coordination, and decisiveness. Kyudo-inspired practice, the Way of the Bow. Kyudo emphasizes stillness before action. Modern adaptation. Stand tall and balanced. Raise your arms slowly as if drawing a bow. Pause at full extension. Exhale, and release the tension. Return calmly to neutral. This teaches patience and control. Meditation, the warrior's still mind. Samurai practiced meditation, often influenced by Zen, to cultivate fearlessness and clarity. Step-by-step warrior meditation, 10 minutes. Sit or kneel upright, keep eyes softly open, focus on natural breathing, observe thoughts without attachment. The goal is presence, not escape. This practice stabilizes the nervous system under stress. Calligraphy, precision and presence. Calligraphy was used to train mindful action. Every stroke had to be intentional. Simple calligraphy practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Write one word repeatedly, such as honor or calm. Move slowly and deliberately, focus on form, not beauty. This practice trains patience and precision. Ethics and Bushido conduct. Samurai ethics were lived daily, not discussed abstractly. Daily ethical practice. Choose one principle each day. Act honestly, speak respectfully, fulfill commitments, control emotional reactions. Reflect each evening. Did I act in alignment with honor today? This builds in a consistency. Emotional control, mastery under pressure. Samurai were trained to face fear directly. Acceptance practice, 5 minutes. Sit quietly, acknowledge discomfort or fear, do not resist it, breathe steadily, let it pass naturally. This builds courage without recklessness. Acceptance of death, living fully. Contemplation of mortality was not morbid, it sharpened awareness. Mortality reflection, optional. Once weekly, reflect. If today were my last day, how would I act? This practice encourages integrity and presence. Physical conditioning, strength with control. Samurai maintained functional strength. Simple conditioning practice, 10 minutes. Squats, push-ups, walking or light running. Train with steady breath and attention. Food in samurai life, simplicity and fuel. Samurai diets were simple, practical, and seasonal. What samurai traditionally ate. Common foods included rice, vegetables, miso, soup, fish, pickled foods. Meals were modest and nourishing. When they ate, discipline and routine. Samurai followed regular meal times. Typical pattern. Morning, light, midday, main meal, evening, light. Overindulgence was discouraged. Samurai-inspired food plan, modern adaptation. Morning, rice or porridge, tea. Midday, rice, vegetables, fish or protein. Eat attentively and stop before fullness. Evening, soup or vegetables, light and early. How they ate, awareness and gratitude. Before meals, samurai practiced gratitude. Mindful eating practice. Sit upright, pause before eating, eat slowly, finish without heaviness. This supports discipline and clarity. A complete samurai daily training, 60 minutes. 15 minutes, martial movement 10 minute, meditation 10 minute, calligraphy or precision practice 10 minute, conditioning 5 minute, ethical reflection throughout the day, emotional restraint. Closing reflection. Samurai training teaches that true strength is calm strength. Honor guides action, discipline steadies emotion, and awareness sharpens response. Train daily, act honorably, and meet life with composed courage. Chapter 7. The Examined Life. Ancient Greek Philosophy as Daily Training. Reason, Virtue, and Self-Mastery in the Classical World. In ancient Greece, philosophy was not an academic subject confined to lecture halls. It was a way of life, a disciplined practice aimed at shaping character, strengthening reason, and mastering the emotions. Philosophers were expected to live their teachings, not merely argue for them. Among the most influential schools were the Stoics, Platonists, and Pythagoreans. Though different in method, all shared a common goal: the formation of a wise, virtuous, and self-governing human being. This chapter translates their core practices into a practical system you can apply in modern life. The core principle: reason governs the self. Ancient Greek philosophers believed that human suffering largely comes from unexamined impulses, uncontrolled emotions, and false judgments. Training reason was seen as the path to freedom. Philosophy, therefore, trained how to think clearly, how to act ethically, how to remain steady under pressure. Your training begins with the commitment to live deliberately rather than reactively. Stoic training, mental resilience and emotional regulation. The Stoics, such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, trained individuals to remain calm amid uncertainty, loss, and difficulty. Core Stoic idea. Some things are within your control, others are not. Peace comes from mastering what you can control, your judgments and actions. Step-by-step Stoic practice, 15 to 20 minutes daily. 1. Morning intention, 5 minutes. Begin the day by reminding yourself. Challenges will arise, you will respond with reason, not impulse. This prepares the mind for adversity. 2. Voluntary discomfort, optional. Once or twice a week. Take a cold shower, skip a comfort walk instead of driving. This trains resilience and gratitude. 3. Evening reflection, 5 to 10 minutes. Ask, what did I do well today? Where did I lose self-control? How will I improve tomorrow? This practice builds emotional discipline and accountability. Platonic training, logic, ethics, and contemplation. Plato and his followers believed that truth, goodness, and beauty were objective realities that could be approached through reason and contemplation. Core Platonic idea. A just life arises when reason governs desire and emotion. Step-by-step Platonic practice, 15 to 20 minutes daily. 1. Study and dialogue. Read a short philosophical passage. Ask, what is justice here? What is the good action? 2. Contemplation. Sit quietly and reflect on one virtue. Justice, courage, wisdom, moderation. This trains moral clarity. 3. Ethical application. Choose one ethical principle daily and live by it consciously. Platonic training refines moral vision, the ability to see beyond appearances. Pythagorean training, order, silence, and purity. The Pythagoreans believed the universe was structured by number, harmony, and proportion. A disciplined life brought the soul into alignment with this order. Step-by-step Pythagorean practice, 10 to 15 minutes daily. 1. Mathematical order. Practice simple arithmetic or logical patterns. Work slowly and precisely. This sharpens attention and patience. 2. Silence practice, 5 minutes. Sit without speaking, writing, or stimulation. Silence was believed to purify thought and speech. 3. Moral review. Each evening, ask, did I act in harmony today? Did I disrupt balance through excess or carelessness? This builds inner order. Self-mastery, the shared goal. Across all Greek schools, self-mastery was considered the highest achievement. This meant acting according to reason, regulating emotion, without suppression, living virtuously regardless of circumstances. Freedom was defined as not being ruled by impulse or fear. Physical discipline, a sound mind in a sound body. Greek philosophers emphasized physical moderation. Simple daily physical practice, 10 minutes. Walking, stretching, light calisthenics. Exercise was meant to support mental clarity, not vanity. Food in ancient Greek philosophy, moderation and balance. Food was treated as nourishment, not indulgence. Overeating was seen as a failure of self-control. What ancient Greek philosophers ate. Common foods included bread or barley cakes, olives and olive oil, vegetables and legumes, fruits and nuts, cheese or yogurt, fish occasionally. Meat was eaten sparingly. When they ate, simple rhythms. Meals followed natural rhythms. Typical pattern: morning, light, midday, main meal, evening, light or modest. Late or excessive eating was discouraged. Greek-inspired food plan, modern adaptation. Morning, fruit, bread or oats, water or tea. Midday, main meal, whole grains, vegetables, legumes or fish, olive oil. Eat calmly and stop before fullness. Evening, soup or light vegetables, simple and early. How they ate. Temperance as training. Before eating, philosophers practiced temperance, pausing to ask, do I need this, or do I merely desire it? Mindful eating practice. Eat without distraction, chew slowly, stop when satisfied, not full. This strengthens self-control. A complete Greek philosophy daily practice, 60 minutes. 15 minutes. Stoic reflection, 15-minute. Platonic study or contemplation, 10-minute. Pythagorean order or silence 10-minute, physical movement 10-minute, evening self-review. Even half this routine builds clarity and virtue. Closing reflection. The ancient Greeks taught that the unexamined life is not worth living, not as criticism, but as invitation. To live philosophically is to live attentively, ethically, and deliberately. Think clearly, act virtuously, and govern yourself with reason. Chapter 8. Crossing the Threshold, Indigenous Rites of Passage and the Making of Identity. Resilience, responsibility, and belonging across ancient cultures. Across Africa, the Americas, Australia, and other regions, indigenous cultures developed powerful systems known as rites of passage. These were not ceremonies for display. They were transformational processes designed to mark the transition from one stage of life to another, most often from youth into responsible adulthood. Unlike modern education systems that emphasize information, indigenous rites focused on identity. A person did not simply learn skills, they became someone new, a protector, a provider, a caretaker of community and land. These traditions taught resilience, humility, self-reliance, and moral responsibility through direct experience, guided by elders and supported by community. This chapter translates the spirit of these rites into a modern, respectful practice you can follow safely today. The core principle: identity is earned through responsibility. Indigenous rites of passage were built on one truth. You do not become mature by age alone. You become mature by responsibility. A rite of passage separates the individual from comfort, tests their endurance and character, and then welcomes them back with a new role. The process changes how a person sees themselves and how the community sees them. Your training begins with a conscious decision to take responsibility for your life, actions, and impact on others. Mentorship, learning from elders and guides. In indigenous cultures, elders played a central role. They did not lecture endlessly, they observed, guided, corrected, and modeled. Step-by-step modern mentorship practice. Identify a guide, an elder, mentor, teacher, or respected figure. Seek guidance, not validation. Listen more than you speak. Apply what you are taught through action. If no direct mentor is available, study indigenous wisdom texts and observe people who live with integrity. Respect for elders builds humility and continuity. Survival skills, building self-reliance. Survival training was not about domination of nature, but cooperation with it. Step-by-step survival skill practice. Choose one skill to train each week. 1. Navigation and awareness. Walk without headphones. Notice landmarks, wind, sun position. Practice orienting yourself. 2. Shelter and order. Keep your living space simple and functional. Learn basic repairs and organization. 3. Fire and sustenance, modern safe version. Learn basic cooking from raw ingredients. Understand how food is sourced and prepared. These practices build confidence and independence. Endurance trials, meeting discomfort with courage. Traditional rites often included fasting, long walks, silence, or exposure to hardship, not as punishment, but as self-discovery. Safe endurance practice. Choose one. 1. Extended walk. Walk for 60 to 90 minutes without distractions. Maintain steady pace and breath. 2. Silence period. Spend half a day without speaking or media. Observe thoughts and emotions. 3. Physical challenge. Cold shower. Long hold in a squat or plank. Early rising for 1 week. Endurance reveals inner strength and fear patterns. Time alone. The vision quest principle. Many cultures included a period of intentional solitude, allowing the individual to confront themselves honestly. Step-by-step solitude practice, once monthly. Choose a safe, quiet place. Spend 1 to 3 hours alone. No phone, music, or reading. Reflect on: who am I becoming? What do I need to release? What responsibility am I ready to carry? Solitude clarifies identity. Moral and social responsibility, belonging to the whole. Indigenous rites did not produce isolated individuals. They produced contributors. Daily responsibility practice. Each day, consciously, protect something, a person, place, value, provide something, help, skill, effort, respect something, nature, elders, community. Responsibility grounds identity in service. Story and ancestral memory. Stories were central to Indigenous training. They carried moral lessons and collective memory. Story reflection practice. Read or listen to one traditional story. Ask, what lesson is being taught? How does this apply to my life today? Stories anchor identity beyond the individual self. Food in Indigenous traditions. Eating with the land. Food was sacred. It was not consumed casually, but received with gratitude. What Indigenous peoples traditionally ate. Diets varied by region but shared common features. Locally sourced foods, seasonal eating whole, minimally processed ingredients. Examples include roots and tubers, fruits and berries, grains and seeds, fish, game, or legumes, wild plants and herbs. Nothing was wasted. When they ate, rhythms of nature. Eating followed natural cycles rather than constant snacking. Traditional pattern. Morning, light or delayed midday. Main meal evening, light. Some rites included fasting to sharpen awareness. Indigenous-inspired food plan, modern adaptation. Morning, water or herbal tea, fruit or simple grains. Midday, main meal. Vegetables, whole grains, protein, legumes, fish, eggs, or meat if preferred. Eat slowly. Stop before fullness. Evening, soup or light meal, early and simple. Choose foods close to their natural form. How they ate, gratitude and awareness. Before eating, Indigenous peoples often expressed thanks to the land, animals, ancestors, and community. Gratitude practice. Before meals, pause and reflect. May this food strengthen me to serve life. Eat without distraction. Chew fully. Respect the source. A complete Indigenous-inspired daily practice, 60 minutes. 15 minutes, skill training or physical challenge, 15-minute. Nature walk or awareness practice, 10-minute. Silence or reflection, 10-minute. Service or responsibility act, 10-minute. Story or elder wisdom reflection. Even partial practice builds resilience and clarity. Closing reflection. Indigenous rites of passage teach us that identity is not given. It is earned through courage, humility, and responsibility. When you face discomfort honestly, listen to elders, respect the land, and serve your community, something shifts within you. You stop drifting and begin belonging. Stand firmly, carry responsibility, and walk forward as someone who knows who they are. Chapter 9. Forged Under Pressure. Modern Elite Military Special Forces Training. Mind-body integration, resilience, and action under stress. Across the world, elite military units such as the Navy SEALs, SAS, and Spetsnaz represent the pinnacle of human training for stress tolerance, decision-making, and disciplined action. Unlike conventional military training, these programs do not merely develop strength or technical skill. They cultivate mental toughness, emotional resilience, and team cohesion under extreme physical and psychological pressure. In many ways, the discipline, repetition, and self-mastery found in these modern forces are closely aligned with monastic training systems, though without spiritual aims. Soldiers are trained to remain composed, focused, and effective even when exhausted, cold, or under threat. This chapter presents a practical framework you can safely adapt to train your own mind, body, and decision-making under pressure. The core principle: integrated mind-body mastery. Special Forces training rests on one central idea. Mental control depends on physical conditioning, and physical performance depends on mental clarity. Elite soldiers learn to respond instead of reacting, to maintain focus under chaos, and to act decisively even when fatigued or frightened. The goal is cohesion between mind, body, and purpose. Your training begins with accepting discomfort as a tool for growth. Physical conditioning. stressing the body safely. Extreme physical hardship is a cornerstone of special forces preparation. The goal is to develop strength, endurance, and adaptability under duress. Step-by-step physical practice, 20 to 25 minutes daily. 1. Endurance. Brisk walking, jogging, or stair climbing for 10 to 15 minutes maintains steady breathing and posture. 2. Strength. Push-ups, squats, lunges, planks performed in controlled, deliberate repetitions. 3. Functional movement. Carry a weighted object, safely perform simple obstacle-style movements, ducking, crawling, stretching. 4. Recovery. Stretching or gentle yoga-focused breathing to regulate heart rate. Even at a moderate intensity, these exercises train the body to perform under fatigue, preparing the nervous system for stress. Psychological stress inoculation, training the mind. Special forces deliberately expose trainees to controlled stress to teach resilience. Step-by-step stress practice. Cold exposure, cold shower for 1 to 3 minutes, focus on steady, deep breathing, cognitive pressure, solve puzzles while slightly fatigued or after physical exertion, practice counting, recalling details, or decision-making under mild stress, visualization, mentally rehearse high-pressure scenarios, imagine staying calm and executing effectively. The goal is not to create suffering, but to train calm, controlled responses under pressure. Team loyalty and discipline, learning cohesion. Special forces emphasize the group over the individual. Trust, communication, and discipline are essential. Daily team-oriented practice, even solo adaptation. Partner or small group accountability, share daily goals or reflections, encourage consistency and follow through. Simulated cooperation, practice tasks requiring coordination and patience, even solo. Imagine collaborating and communicating clearly. This builds reliability, focus, and self-discipline. Decision-making under fatigue. Elite soldiers are trained to make accurate, rapid decisions when exhausted. Step-by-step decision practice. Physical exertion, first do a short burst of exercise, push-ups, stair climb. Cognitive task, immediately after solve a problem, write a plan, or make a choice. Reflect briefly, how clear was your thinking? What strategies help maintain composure? This trains the ability to think under real-life stress. Breath and mind control, anchoring in the present. Breath regulation is a common thread across elite military and monastic training. Controlled breathing stabilizes heart rate, focus, and emotional responses. Step-by-step breathing practice, 5 to 10 minutes. Sit upright or stand tall, inhale deeply through the nose for 4 counts, hold gently for 2 counts, exhale slowly for 6 to 8 counts, repeat for 5 to 10 cycles. Controlled breathing improves resilience to both physical and psychological stress. Nutrition, fuel for mind and body. Special forces training demands high energy intake, but food is functional, not indulgent. Meals support endurance, recovery, and mental clarity. What elite military personnel typically eat? Lean proteins, chicken, fish, eggs, whole grains, rice, oats, whole wheat, vegetables and legumes, nuts and seeds, fruit. Adequate hydration. Processed foods, sugar, and empty calories are minimized. Timing and consistency are important to sustain energy. When to eat, supporting training rhythm. Morning, light but protein-rich breakfast, e.g., eggs with vegetables, oats with fruit. Midday, main meal to fuel activity, lean protein, grains, vegetables. Evening, moderate, easily digestible meal, soup, grains, vegetables, snacks, nuts, fruits, or small protein sources to maintain energy. Meals are eaten mindfully, supporting mental clarity and avoiding overconsumption. How to eat, awareness and function. Elite operators eat purposefully. Food is not entertainment, but sustenance for peak performance. Mindful eating practice. Pause before eating, acknowledge the nourishment, eat slowly, focusing on chewing and flavor. Stop when satisfied, not stuffed. This strengthens self-discipline and awareness of bodily cues. A complete modern special forces inspired daily routine, 60 minutes. 20 minutes. Physical training, endurance plus strength, 10-minute. Breathwork, mental regulation, 10-minute. Cognitive task under mild fatigue, 10-minute. Reflection on decisions and discipline, 10-minute. Team-oriented or cooperative practice. Even partial adherence develops mind-body integration, mental clarity, and resilience. Closing reflection. Special Forces training demonstrates that extreme environments and structured repetition forge both character and capability. While modern warriors may not pursue spiritual enlightenment, the principles align closely with monastic discipline, consistency, presence, awareness, and self-mastery. By integrating physical stress, mental challenges, breath work, and nutrition, anyone can begin to cultivate resilience, composure, and clarity under pressure. Train deliberately, act decisively, and meet adversity with a steady mind and disciplined body. Chapter 10. The Ashram Path, Yogic Training for Energy, Mind, and Self-Realization. India's tradition of discipline, breath, and awareness. In India, the ashram has been a place where individuals step away from the distractions of ordinary life to cultivate body, mind, and spirit. The ashram system integrates physical discipline, breath mastery, meditation, scriptural study, and a regulated lifestyle to facilitate self-realization. Like Tibetan monastic training, the ashram emphasizes awareness, breath control, and self-regulation, but with a distinctive focus on energy cultivation, prana, and harmonious living with nature. The goal of ashram training is not just skill or knowledge, it is transformation, learning to live consciously, energetically, and in alignment with higher principles. The core principle, energy and awareness, are interconnected. In yogic philosophy, body, breath, and mind are inseparable. Energy flows freely when the body is disciplined, the breath is regulated, and the mind is focused. When energy stagnates or the mind wanders, both vitality and clarity diminish. Your training begins with intentional awareness, noticing the body, breath, and thoughts throughout the day. Physical discipline, asana practice. Asanas, postures, strengthen the body, improve flexibility, and prepare the nervous system for meditation. Step-by-step daily asana routine, 15 to 20 minutes. Mountain pose, Tadasana, stand tall, feet grounded, arms relaxed, breathe steadily, aligning posture forward fold. Uttanasana, hinge at hips, relax the head and neck, exhale fully, release tension, seated twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana, sit upright, twist gently side to side, maintain calm breathing, gentle back bend. Bhujangasana or cobra, open chest, stretch spine, inhale deeply, exhale slowly, corpse pose. Savasana, lie down, relax completely, observe breath and body sensations. Even short daily sessions energize the body and prepare the mind for focus. Breath mastery, pranayama. Pranayama trains the flow of vital energy, stabilizes the nervous system, and cultivates concentration. Step-by-step beginner pranayama, 5 to 10 minutes. Sit upright with a straight spine, inhale through the nose for 4 counts, hold gently for 2 counts, exhale slowly through the nose for 6 to 8 counts, repeat for 5 to 10 cycles. Optional variations, alternate nostril breathing or ujjayi breath. Always avoid strain, comfort is key. Pranayama develops mental calm, energy awareness, and emotional stability. Meditation, cultivating mindfulness and inner stillness. Meditation allows the practitioner to observe the mind, release distractions, and deepen awareness. Step-by-step daily meditation, 10 to 15 minutes. Sit comfortably, spine upright, close eyes or soften gaze, focus on breath, mantra, or a simple visual, observe thoughts without attachment, return gently to focus whenever the mind wanders. Regular practice strengthens attention, insight, and emotional resilience. Silence periods, observing inner speech. Ashram training often incorporates mauna, or silence, for several hours or even a full day. Silence helps practitioners listen to their inner voice, regulate speech, and cultivate mindfulness. Step-by-step silence practice. Choose a period, 30 to 60 minutes daily. Without speaking, avoid distractions such as screens. Observe thoughts, feelings, and breath. Silence deepens self-awareness and enhances energy flow. Scriptural study, knowledge as a guiding light. Yoga and ashram life integrate study of ancient texts to inspire reflection, morality, and clarity. Step-by-step scriptural study practice, 10 to 15 minutes. Choose a short verse or teaching, Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Sutras, Upanishads. Read slowly and attentively, reflect on its meaning in daily life. Apply one principle consciously during the day. Study fosters discernment, ethical awareness, and philosophical insight. Moral discipline and daily routine. Ashram life emphasizes order and discipline as a framework for spiritual growth. Key practices. Wake early, before sunrise. Maintain personal hygiene and clean living space. Follow set times for meals, practice, and rest. Engage in service or community tasks. This builds self-responsibility and alignment with natural rhythms. Food in ashram training. Simple, sattvic diet. Diet is functional, nourishing, and clean, supporting meditation, energy, and mental clarity. What ashram practitioners typically eat. Whole grains, rice, wheat, millet, fresh vegetables, legumes, lentils, beans, fruits and nuts. Dairy in moderation. Milk, yogurt, ghee, minimal oil, salt, and spices. The emphasis is on light, easily digestible, energy-supporting foods. Meal timing and discipline. Meals are taken with mindfulness and at consistent times. Typical pattern. Morning, light breakfast, porridge, fruit, herbal tea. Midday, main meal, grains, vegetables, legumes, small dairy portion. Evening, light meal or soup, optional, minimal. Avoid overeating. Meals are functional, not indulgent. Mindful eating practice. Sit calmly without distractions. Express gratitude for food and the effort involved. Chew slowly, savoring each bite. Stop before feeling overly full. Mindful eating enhances digestion, energy flow, and awareness of bodily needs. A complete ashram-inspired daily routine. 60 minutes, core practices. 15 minutes, asana, physical posture practice. 10-minute, pranayama, breath regulation. 15-minute, meditation, mindfulness or mantra. 10-minute, scriptural reflection. 10-minute, silence eye observation. Additional activities. Serve community tasks. Engage in mindful walking or nature observation. Practice mindful eating at all meals. Even short, consistent practice cultivates energy balance, focus, and self-awareness. Closing reflection. Yogic ashram training demonstrates that discipline, breath, and awareness are the keys to mastering both body and mind. By integrating asana, pranayama, meditation, study, and mindful living, you cultivate energy awareness, emotional stability, mental clarity, ethical and spiritual growth. Like Tibetan monks, you learn to observe yourself, regulate your energy, and live consciously, but within a uniquely Indian framework emphasizing self-realization and harmony. Step into practice daily. Breathe consciously, live attentively, and allow your life to become a meditation in action. You have now traveled through 10 distinct training systems, separated by centuries, cultures, and beliefs, yet united by one enduring truth. Human potential is cultivated through discipline, awareness, and responsibility. Whether in a monastery, a battlefield, a forest rite, or a quiet ashram, the same principles appear again and again. Control the breath to steady the mind, train the body to support clarity, accept discomfort as a teacher, live with purpose, ethics, and service, return again and again to awareness. These traditions remind us that mastery is not about domination of others, but command over one's reactions, habits, and inner world. You do not need isolation, extreme hardship, or years of formal training to begin. What matters is consistency. A few minutes of conscious breath, a disciplined body, a clearer response to stress, a deeper sense of responsibility toward yourself and others. When you integrate even small elements of these systems into daily life, something subtle but profound begins to change. You stop being pushed around by circumstances. You respond rather than react. You stand steadier in pressure. You listen more deeply to the world and to yourself. This audiobook does not offer shortcuts. It offers something better, a return to proven paths of human development. Carry these teachings forward not as rigid rules, but as living principles. Let them shape how you move, breathe, decide, and serve. The training never truly ends, but neither does the growth. Thank you for listening.